Welcome back to another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. This week, we're going to talk about Sam Burns' second career PGA Tour win. I don't really like that guy because he always plays bad when I pick him, well when I don't, but whatever. We're also going to talk about Bryson's performance in the Professional Long Drive Championship. He was kind of killing it in that, even though I know Cheek watched it. I bet he can give us some more insight on that. We're also going to talk about the Shriners Open and preview that with some betting picks. So let's get into it.
This is Jordan Spieth here, and
this is the Pin High Podcast.
Let's get inside the ropes to start episode 101. Sam Burns wins the Sanderson. I can't say, I'm not going to lie to you. I probably watched about 5 holes of this tournament.
Yeah, I had it on Thursday and Friday. I can't say I had much of it on Sunday. I was playing golf on Sunday. Occasionally on Saturday, I saw that Sam Burns came and took the lead. And honestly, if you're going into Sunday and you had to pick a name of somebody who you thought was going to win the tournament just based on who was up there, Sam Burns was that guy.
Corey Connors did finish well.
You did finish well, and you did kind of play yourself in your picks, but that's okay.
I did, but I couldn't have picked him to win or against Mito Pereira. It was the odds weren't right. So
we had who else had really good weeks? Pga was probably the guy who played the best throughout the week, who just didn't really get it done on Sunday.
The Pepperdine boy.
Yeah, only 1 under on Sunday. That's not going to cut it at an event like the Sanderson Farms where the final score was 22 under. But he had a good week. Big things from him this year, maybe. Cameron Young, one of the guys that I kind of highlighted, and like, who do you think might win Rookie of the Year? Cameron Young came 3rd place. I think he's gonna have a really good season.
We'll say there was a lot of names on the leaderboard this week where I was like, wow, that's new.
Yeah, Nick Watney T2, Henrik Norlander T4.
Nick Watney, haven't heard that in a while.
A lot of guys finished at the top that you weren't really expecting. Trey Mullinax. Just a lot of random names. And Will Zalatoris was up there for a lot of the week. He couldn't really get it done on the weekend, but
who else? Who else can we talk about?
I don't know, kind of a random tournament, not a lot of big names in the tournament. And it wasn't really a big press tournament, but at the end of the day, probably the favorite who came in during the week ended up taking the win. So, that tells you a little bit about Sam Burns. Only his second PGA Tour win, but he's really solid all around.
Yeah, he's definitely he's out there all the time. He kind of broke out in a little bit last year. No one really knows about him still, but he's very, very good. And I just that was like a tournament you could say, oh, not really surprised. I'm not really surprised at all that Sam Burns won that.
This is Sam Burns' year. Maybe he comes out this year. He might become one of those guys that.
Yep. Is he in? You'd have to imagine he might be one of those kind of bottom 3 captains picks, or maybe even qualify for President's Cup next year.
Exactly.
I can definitely see him on that team.
I feel like that's enough of the Sanderson Farms for this week.
Yeah.
I don't think people would be too disappointed about that. But one of the big stories this week, Bryson DeChambeau, he competed in the long drive competition over the course of last week, and he actually did pretty well. A lot of people were going to say oh, he can't compete with these guys. He doesn't have the ball speed that they have. And he really doesn't have the ball speed that they have, but he still came out with some incredible ball speed. And just because he's a pro PGA Tour golfer, he's hitting the center of the club face more, the ball's going further. And I think he ended up in 8th place, which got him into the one of the final rounds. So that's pretty impressive, starting at 32 to finish in 8th place.
I didn't watch a lot of this, but it sounded like you said, hitting the center of the club face, he's able to, for everything I saw on Twitter, was that guys were hitting it OB after OB, and he wasn't maybe hitting it necessarily maybe as far as them, but he was hitting it in the
And he was also
range,
hitting
I
as
guess.
far
I
as
mean,
them,
he
but
was
like
hitting it as far as
Yeah.
them, to be
Yeah.
fair.
it's just his ball speed like wasn't as much, right?
Yeah. So like
But he was just hitting the center of the
Okay.
club face. So it was,
yeah, so coming into the week, I think everybody kind of expected him to be around, 213, 214, 215 ball speed. And a lot of the long drive guys, they're 220, 221. Kyle Berkshire was at 226, I believe, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Bryson was hanging around there. He was at 219, 218 throughout the week. He had I think a 417-yard drive, which is a really long one. He won the format of it is there's a group of 4 and you get points based on how you do in that group. So if you have the longest drive in that group of 4, you get like 100 points, and then like the next person gets 50 and then 25 and whatever. So I mean, Bryson won a couple groups in the group of 4. He competed with Kyle Berkshire when he was in his group, and I mean, at the end of the day, Kyle Berkshire, he hit a 420 something yard drive and then like another one in the finals. So he wasn't going to be able to compete with that, but he did well against people who all they do is train for a long drive, and he eliminated a lot of people. So I mean, if Bryson all he did was train for a long drive, I feel like he could be a world champion, but like I don't think that's going to be the case. And
no.
none of these guys
I mean,
can
he
putt with
loved
him.
doing. You could tell he loved doing it, but
Yeah, and he came out this week and said, "I'm gonna."
He'll probably do it again.
Yeah, he said it. He
Yeah.
said he's gonna do it again.
You could have told me, if you have told me 2 weeks ago that the USA would have won the Ryder Cup and everyone would have loved Bryce on the Ryder Cup team, and he would have done this well in the World Long Drive Championship, like I would not have believed you at all.
I will have to say, if Bryson like just started wearing a normal hat on tour, I feel like he would be like a lot more likable.
Yeah,
I agree. I like regular hat Bryson.
It looks a lot better with the regular hat. I agree.
Really
I
does.
completely agree.
Yeah, I mean, he competed. I don't want to say he was close to winning, but like, he had a shot. I think he could have hit. He hit some pretty long drives. He could have hit some long ones. I think he definitely had a shot of winning. Just cool to see that he's competing with like the best long drivers in the world, and he's a PGA Tour player. Where like you can't take those long drivers and put them on the PGA Tour. They won't compete with him. So pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then some more news coming from the PGA Tour. JT has a new caddy. Jim Bones is coming back on his bag after taking however many years off to just be on like the Golf Channel and not be on Phil's bag anymore. Bones was occasionally like caddying for him, like
he was like a substitute caddy.
Yeah,
like couldn't or something. Because caddy I think was like sick at one point, and like maybe the other time like his caddy had like a kid.
I know his dad caddied from a couple of times as well, and
apparently
stuff like that.
The caddy did not get fired. JT said,
saw that,
and that it was just like he called JT and said, it was time to explore new things, I guess. Whatever that means.
I think JT got himself one of the best caddy free agents out there. So good for him. I think Jim Bones Mackay is gonna be a great caddy for him.
If you're Bones, why wouldn't you? You're like, okay, yeah, I'm guaranteed so much money every year because he's so much tour winnings and has a very good shot at the FedEx Cup every year, which gets you so much money and is also just like,
right. I think it's a good move. Like it's a good move all around, except for all of us who watch golf on TV, because Jim Bones Mackay is great on TV. Bones. I mean, Bones is so good on TV.
It's definitely like if Bones was if any guy on tour was gonna have a caddy opening and you're gonna go caddy for him, like Justin Thomas is also right up there as one of the guys. Like if Patrick Rogers has a caddy opening, odds are Bones is not going to go out of his way to be involved with that. But obviously JT's probably known Bones for forever because he has caddy for him before, and Ryder Cup stuff, just being involved in general, and Phil and everything like that. So I agree. I think it's a good move all around, just for both sides. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys think that having a new caddy could help JT? You think JT might play better with a new caddy, or do you think he already had a good caddy?
Yeah.
Getting another good caddy.
Do I think it could help him as much as I think that it could help mentally reset him? I think that might be more of the take.
Time to move on, time for a change. It makes sense.
Yeah,
all around.
exactly.
And like it just totally makes sense.
Yeah, and plus his experience and everything with Phil and how he's handled that would definitely help. It's definitely not going to hurt him in any way, shape, or form. I don't think.
Yeah. So on that note, let's move on to our picks and our course preview for the Shriners Hospital for Children Open. But first, let's talk a little bit about Roback. Both Jeek and Trevor have the Roback hat on right now. I just realized, because looking at my hat, that I still have my ball marker on it from playing, an hour ago. But
ball marker.
Oops. But yeah, so you can get a hat like Jeek's or Trevor's at the link in our Instagram bio or any of our social media bios. And you get 15% off when you just use that link and just put in your whatever you want in your cart. So great deal. Roback's a great brand, great hats, great polos. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so course preview. We have the Shriners Hospital for Children Open. That's always a mouthful, but we'll just call it the Shriners. TPC Summerlin. It's just outside of Las Vegas. It's a par 71, probably one of the easier courses on tour, I would say. I mean, the only deciding factor is the weather. If the weather is cold and rainy, then the ball might not travel as far and it might not be as easy. But I mean, the course length is not much of an issue here. High altitude, the ball carries. You might see a couple 400-yard drives this week, which, is always pretty fun.
Did you say high altitude?
If anyone knows what that is, you're a true OG. But anyway, so driving
understood that.
Driving distance isn't an issue at all, really. I mean, the last 10 winners have averaged under 300 yards, including 2018 when Bryson was the winner. This was Bryson before he went into the long drive competition. So just something to look at there. I mean, the par 5s are all reachable. I mean, all three of them, even though they might seem kind of long, altitude makes them so much reachable. Key stats: strokes gained approach, strokes gained putting, and eagles gained. And just looking at some previous winners, Martin Laird, Kevin Na, Bryson before he bulked up, Patrick Cantlay, and Smiley Kaufman won 2015. Figured I'd include that.
That's crazy to think that Bryson won without averaging 300 yards per drive, and looking at him now in the world long drive competition.
I mean, it's crazy.
That's unbelievable. Yeah.
And he was still winning.
It's unbelievable.
Who is Rod Pampley?
No,
is what I want to know.
I don't know.
52.
Okay,
so
might see him on a couple PGA Champions events.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Anyway, let's get into skins. Unfortunately, my season might have just came to an end mathematically.
Probably.
Are winners 2 points, 2 skins, or no?
No,
I think winners are
okay. If they were, then I'd be mathematically in it, and I could just win out. You guys want to make mine worth 2 so that I can?
No,
not really.
A winner. If Pat picks 3, I'll give you a deal, Pat. If you pick 3 winners, 3
in a row,
3's out there.
3 weeks.
No, not in a row. 3 winners in general, then you win it all.
I think I'll go with it in a row. That's not fair.
3 in a row, because 3 you could literally just pick the 3
winners,
favorites and then the 3
how many
favorites.
No, I won't do that. I won't do that. 3 in a row.
2 in a row. 2 in a row. I'll give you 2 in a row. If you do 2 in a row.
2 in a row.
Because no one's done 2 in a row. You could have all my skins.
Oh. Okay.
That's a deal.
But you have to pick 2 in a row before December, or when are we ending this? December, the end of the year. So
December 31st.
You have 2 months.
Before.
Okay. I'll take it.
Before Century. Century is the start of the new.
I'll take it. On that note, I'll go first.
Pick your winner. Yeah.
Sung Jae's my winner, plus 2,800, 28 to 1.
After we said that he's going to win 100% this week.
Yeah, Pat's getting 2 in a row the next 2 weeks.
We'll see.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
I should have made that more like he has to pick the first and second place finisher of 3 tournaments or something.
Like I said, I am also going to be, loving Corey Connors every week as well until he wins. But Sung Jae's my pick this week. He's just a really good, approach player. He's 65th on the tour last year. He had a pretty good week at the Sanderson Farms, actually. And last year he averaged just below 300 yards. And I kind of was searching for a good player, good iron player that averaged just below 300, and he kind of fit the mold. And then my best bet is kind of random, but I liked it. Seamus Power minus 125 over Danny Willett. It's just a gut feel. I think Seamus Power at some point this fall was playing some pretty good golf. So towards the end of the summer. So I like it.
Danny Willett just won though, didn't he?
Yeah, but Danny Willett is
and...
one of the most. Yeah, he just won. I saw a tweet comparing him to Max Homa, like Ryan.
I just see
that. Yeah. And Max Homa was like, all right. I mean, I'm still going to the Masters in 2022, so whatever. But yeah, I don't think Danny Willett is the most consistent golfer.
No. He was saying yeah, I can't tell if this is a good comparison or bad comparison. But either way, like because Danny Willett won the Masters, and he's like either way, Masters 2022, like he's.
Yeah, we already know Rory. We already know Rory's winning that. So like
Rory already
also true.
Won the Masters.
Rory has that.
Rory won the Masters. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
I'll go next. My winner, I'm gonna go Siwoo Kim. He's 45-1. He's played the 2 events this year in 2022, T8 and T11 finishes, so not that bad. It was T8 last week. And he's also started off hot with his approach. He wasn't good with his approach in 2021, but like just based off the first 2 events, he's 22nd in an approach and, gaining a stroke approaching. So maybe he figured something out there. Also, he was T15. That's his event in 2019 and T25 in 2016. So he's played well here before. And I just kind of feel a Siwoo Kim win.
I could see it.
And then my best bet, Pat's on the Corey Connors train. I'm on the Mito Pereira train. I'm going to go with Mito Pereira top 40. It's minus 135. Yeah, I'm just going to keep backing him. He has finished top 40 in 7 out of his last 8 events played. He missed the cut in the first 2 PGA Tour events and then pretty much has been top 40 in every event since then. And yeah, I mean, his approach games have been really good to start the season as well. I feel like I'm just on the Mito Pereira train. Top 40 feels pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right, so I'll go with my guy, Abraham Answer, plus 1800. Hits it straight. Hits great approach shots. Great putter. Doesn't need the distance, and it doesn't matter this week at all, really. So I think it's a great spot for him to win. Best bet, Brian Harman, top 40. I love this. Last 2 times a year, he's T18, T16, and he's a much player. He played so well last year. I think he's prime for like a mini breakout again this year. Again, doesn't really hit the ball the furthest. Doesn't really matter at this course, but his short game and putting is off the charts. So looking for a good week. Just making the cut, I think he'll be fine. He'll make top 40 pretty decently well.
I like that.
Can't wait until sports betting is legal in Connecticut, so that we can actually access. Yeah, exactly. So we can access these top 40 bets.
Top 40
they are free money.
Top 40 are free money, dude. So,
but yeah, I mean, first round leader. I'm gonna go with Louis Oosthuizen, and he's 28-1. A little bit under the radar that he's even in the field this week. Pretty solid field this week, actually, to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he fits the course really well. Kind of a guy who's a really good iron player. Not the longest off the tee, but good enough. I like Louis Oosthuizen to come out firing this week.
I also think that Webb Simpson could play really well this week. He actually has been playing pretty good golf recently after a little bit of a bad stretch.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. And obviously it's not like a hot take because he's a co-favorite or second favorite, I guess. But
yeah,
I think he will play pretty well. I saw a matchup of him and Corey Connors, which is just such a trap betting line. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that good field this week, though. I think the tournament will be a lot better than last week. So it's a good one to watch. So
yeah, definitely. So let's get in the clubhouse to end the week. We don't have anything planned. So do you want to do a guess who?
Yeah, I'm down to do a guess who.
Ooh.
Okay. We're going to do a guess who with the field this week.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
And I am going to pick it right now. I got it.
Have it?
You
All
get
right,
how many questions?
10.
10, I
Right?
think.
Okay, 10. Yep.
I mean, Trev, we should start with the first question. Is he American?
Yes.
Okay, is American.
Pat, all right. This is. Are you looking at the right now in the odds?
Yes.
Are his odds better than plus 10,000?
Better as in what?
Like plus 8,000 or
like lower.
No.
I guess
so
yeah,
his
lower.
odds. Yeah, no, they're higher than plus 10,000.
That was a good question, Trev. I like that one.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Too.
Sorry, just familiarizing myself with the field.
God, there's a lot of Americans though that are higher than plus
Trev,
10,000.
don't be mad at me. I'm gonna waste a question here. Is he a lefty?
No.
Okay, I was on the Hank Lebioda train. I really thought Pat was picking Hank Lebioda.
3.
God. All right, are his odds in between plus 10,000 plus 20,000?
Yes.
Okay, that actually.
These are cheap questions.
First question.
Yeah, I'm about to say we're really
No more of those.
Okay.
We haven't narrowed it down like at all.
There's a lot
Has
more.
he won? Has he won on the PGA Tour?
Yes. There's more questions you can be asking about.
Yeah, I know. We just haven't done this in a while that I just kind of
Yeah.
forgot the cheat code questions.
I just forget.
You know, a couple of them are like major related, but I don't really see a lot of major winners down here. Trev, if we were to narrow it down to 2 brands of like sponsors, which two should we?
Titleist and TaylorMade.
I feel like that doesn't narrow it down that much because then most of them are Titleist and TaylorMade.
All right, so Callaway and
Are they Callaway or Ping sponsored athletes? I'm gonna make you dig for that.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. He is not.
I was hoping
Okay.
that would narrow it down. Oh boy.
Oh, I don't even know. Is he? Would you say he's tall? Like,
Yes.
I think I have a guess, but I don't know. That's
I
just the
too
first
have
name
a
that popped
guess.
out to me.
But I don't want to use them.
Oh, has he won a PGA Tour tournament last year? 2 years. 2 years. Sorry, 2 years.
Yes.
I have a guess. I have a guess, but I
Take a guess, Trev. This has gone on long enough.
Is it Matt Kuchar?
Matt Kuchar.
Let's go.
Good guess.
It was between. I saw Chesson Hadley. I'm like, might be Chesson Hadley, and then I saw Kuchar way down there. I'm like, he's tall, isn't he?
You can only have one of those odds questions going forward.
Okay, I guess so.
Yeah, I think we should have made the odds question. Like, if you were gonna ask an odds question, you should have like really narrowed it down.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I didn't realize. I looked at plus.
There's like
10,000.
40 guys between 10,000 and like 20,000 or whatever you asked.
But there's plus 10,000. I'm like, all right, so like, all right, so there's down a little bit, and I kept going. There's just more and more after plus 20,000.
Did you know that Matt Kuchar plays like all Bridgestone clubs?
Yeah,
I didn't know Bridgestone made clubs.
I knew they made drivers.
PGA Tour 2K21.
He is all Bridgestone clubs
Uses
except for like
irons,
his.
right?
I think he's a Cleveland putter. I think
Now I gotta look at this Matt Kuchar.
He's
it's
Something
the
like
most
Odyssey
old
putter.
man thing of all time.
Yeah, probably doesn't care.
I mean,
He's one of those
works
spokespeople.
hard.
Probably. I mean, it's like him and Tiger at this point, basically. The Bridgestone.
Bryson. Bryson uses the
Bryson.
ball.
Oh, by the way, so I
forgot
played
Bryson
golf
plays
today,
Bridgestone.
and I was playing with a sleeve of Bridgestones that Bryson left in his car.
Did you hit the
Oh,
ball further? Probably not.
That'd be interesting if you did. You should just say right now you hit it 350 yards every time.
I hit a 52. It was 135 to the pin, and I hit it over the green. We're getting off topic.
Yeah.
Anyway,
sorry, but yes,
we got a good tournament this weekend. Honestly,
yeah, good field.
Good field for the first time. I mean, I guess Ryder Cup obviously, but like there hasn't been many good tournaments recently. We had a good winner last week, but not a fantastic tournament. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week for another week of PGA Tour in the fall swing.